Everyone, hope you're doing well back in the home court today. Let me make one feng shui adjustment. Good. Okay, perfect. We're going to be mostly focused on the form today. Really want to get that down, so we're going to get lots of practice. We'll have a pretty abbreviated walking, and we will kind of begin with this 5-element standing meditation, maybe a bit more abbreviated there too. One question that came up, Gigi asks, how do we transition into the 4 directions? I would say you just finish the form, then you start over, and then turn 90 degrees to the other direction, and then you do the form. Turn 90 degrees, do the form again, and you'll have 4 repetitions in the 4 directions. If you want, you can do 8 repetitions and then do everything on the reverse direction. That's extra credit. It takes a bit more time, and I think right now, more important is just, even more than the 4 directions, is being able to do one with integrity. And that means taking your time, really struggling through the, okay, I'm posting, okay, am I feeling the burn a little bit, or do I need to tuck my hip a bit more? And okay, now I turn. And the nice thing about setting the 4, it's like after you do that once or twice, your body warms up and you start to feel the flow, like what it might feel like, let's say we're doing a longer form. And now, okay, I'm warm, it's less mechanical, it's easier to feel that roundness. And so that's really what we want to generate, right? Still good. Oh my gosh, so many notifications everywhere. So turn off your phone, unless you have a really important phone call. Turn off those notifications. It's a good reminder, right? And just be present for this hour as much as possible. I guess I'll just comment here on Heidi's email. I think going through, letting your body kind of lead you is, I think that's the ideal. Our body is wisdom. We're kind of becoming instruments of this higher spirit, and I think that's really wonderful. And I think there's a way, when you learn the principles and you're kind of committed, okay, I'm going to do this form correctly, within that structure, there's still a lot of room for freedom. And it's also within that container of this really kind of embodied, this embodied container. It's almost the container for that life force sometimes is stronger in a way. So I just invite that possibility. I think there's many ways. But good. Okay, we're gonna warm up with the standing. The other thing, so Gigi was saying I think it's her son or son-in-law is doing Tai Chi classes, and he's holding these postures for ungodly amounts of time. And yeah, there's a whole Zhuang, or standing meditation, or standing. I have to look up the characters, but that is a separate practice. People do that as a standalone conditioning, and it's very good for Tai Chi. It's really, you stand in one position for 30 minutes. And as far as self-cultivation, many teachers say, 20 years of Tai Chi, 4 years of standing is 20 years of Tai Chi. So it is. Yeah, we're not doing that here, but it is a practice. And we could talk about it. We could do a separate class where we hold in one position for an hour, and we suffer through that and feel really happy at the end that we did it. Maybe not throughout the process. So okay, now I've really gone overboard. So we're gonna get started, and we'll go from there. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Good. Okay, clearing out the pockets. So returning to center, knees are slightly bent. Actually can be together a bit. Maybe I'll step back over here. You can just see my feet. Good. Eyes can be slightly shut or slightly open, just enough to let the light. Breathing in through the nose, expanding the lower belly on the inhale, and out through the nose, or if congested, through the mouth, contracting the lower belly on the exhale. At your own pace. Good. Going to step out on our left foot, about shoulder width apart. The arms come apart, palms facing each other through the midsection of the body. So my palms are at my sides. My elbows are facing outwards, and my armpits are open. Feel connected through the feet. And increasingly, first the fingertips are reaching towards the ear, but then there's a connection that starts to form. Breathing deeply in and deeply out. Okay, hands come forward, holding the ball in between the belly button and the pelvic floor. Turn down the volume, keep standing there. Feeling the chi between the palms. Fingertips just ever so gently extending towards each other. Just the very gentlest. Breathing in and out. Good. Water, standing in a river. Again, my elbows are still unlocked, slightly bent. The elbows kind of pulling back. Armpits open. Palms are open, facing forward. standing in a river. Here in all of these positions, as I sink, I'm allowing the possibility that I might just ever so gently engage the whole body through this, allowing myself to naturally sway onto the balls of my feet, balls of your feet, and on to the heels. Just allowing that natural sway. In and out. Water nourishes wood, coming like the tree. Good. Reaching up through the fingertips, ever so gently. Slow as a tree grows. Sinking through the tailbone, opening through the feet, letting our roots sink into the earth. Fire. Fire element goes with the heart. Hands are now at the heart level. Palms in line with the shoulder crease. And we do want to feel almost a connection between the center of our chest and the middle finger. Or middle fingers. Good. And hands come down. Here, as we gather from the earth and collect from the heavens, we really want to feel that opposing energy. Go. Hands come down and pressing up through the feet. Hands pulling up from the earth. And I sink down through the heels into it. All the way. So you feel the tailbone active. That brings life into the low back. I want to nourish that grounded. These kidneys ground the energy. Placing my palms right on my low back, warming the kidneys. It's a very common practice in Qigong, creating some warmth. And now we're using it to nourish the most important organ, the kidneys, thought to carry the essence of the other organ systems. So here we go. I'm going to step back in with that left foot. And I think we're getting that down, right? Pretty easy. So I'm going to set my 10-minute timer. I suggest you do too. And if you don't have the meditation timer yet, highly recommend you get it. Let's see. It looks like... Oh, now I'm going to have to restart. But let's... I don't know if you can see it. It looks like that person sitting in lotus position. So... and okay, good. So I'm just setting mine. It's counting down to 10, so you can pause the video if you're catching up, and it's going to start, and then we're going to walk. Oh my gosh, I didn't set us up right, so I paused it. Give a moment. So we're going to walk for 10 minutes. I think you have all of the principles that you need. That just make sure everything's in alignment. We want to engage the lower body, have fun with it. We worked on filling and emptying last week, really luxuriate in the movement. Once you have the low body, you can focus on the height, keeping that even keel, and then that smoothness too. And then if you're really bored or you feel like I just need something more for my mind, bring in the hands. Or if you just want to bring in the hands and just go slow enough that you can do it with integrity, right? And here, again, that can mean, playing around with this hips facing forward, hips facing where you're going, and then allowing the torso to turn a little bit. So, this is for you. So I'm going to start my timer, and we'll be back in 10 minutes. Okay. Oh, I'm going to start it again, so it's got a little bit more clacky. Okay. So 8 seconds from now, we'll be back in 10 minutes. Good. Turn this up for those of you who want to hear the music. Good. So yeah, Tai Chi. There's there's a constant coming together of opposites, and I think when we think about structure and play, even so long as your and this is my thesis. So long as your every cell is engaged with awareness, I'm pretty flexible for how you get there. This class is really about your own self-nourishment, your own process. And I think the principles and the structures that I'm teaching, smooth movement, all of that's things that you remember that help you stay optimally engaged in your body. Even this being on a horse, that's totally bringing things into the lower body that may be a little bit empty, a little bit disembodied. We really want that fullness. Same thing, like, okay, if I move my arms here, now I'm grabbing the entire, these erector spinae, the whole back muscles. And now that's creating that internal awareness. A lot of these external fibers link into the organs through the fascia or connective tissue. It's really amazing, actually. Yeah, I'll make a video on this later, but a lot of, anxiety, ringing in the ears, red eyes, upflaring of energy, it could be even skin conditions. These are kind of like vibrations which are should be held in the organ systems, and so kind of by strengthening our awareness and literally quite actively strengthening those areas, toning them, we're kind of drawing that energy in and creating a foundation. And I think from a perspective, everything is all one, right? So it's like when we refine the body, the thinking that comes out is also very refined. And I think that's, we think of the phrase, concentration of the mind on the body produces wisdom. I think that gets us there. I don't know what happened to my music, but let's see. Holy. I apologize. So the one thing about okay. Good. So we're gonna jump into the form, and let's just jump in. And I think, let's see, I think we're pretty good on time. It's the best timing yet. I'm gonna get it down, I swear. And so we're just gonna go through it, probably guided. We'll see where we're at. I'll kind of get a feel for it, but we're gonna get a number of repetitions in. So. Good. And let me get music back up. I will say, so on my album, I think this is in there. Oh, shoot. I did post it in the Google. You can also buy it on iTunes. I think I get most of that, like 90% of that. But the last track is every 1 minute, there's a singing bowl that gets hit. And so you have a 1-minute timer that you can use to pace out certain practices. So it's like, okay, every 2 minutes I'm gonna switch to my 5-element posture. And so you can use it that way. It's very useful. You can also use the meditation app, but I kind of built that into the album so that you can practice with it in that way. So, good. Let's jump into form. So, okay. Good. Coming back to center. And eyes just ever so slightly. Just enough to allow a little. Calming the mind with the breath. Is going to come out, extending, arms still open, armpits still open, extending like a pull into the earth, feeling it's that solid pull. I'm going to sink, really feel that sinking into the right foot. I'm going to step out about shoulder width apart, left foot. Good. Now we're solid here, sinking down. And I guess we can do this. So, probably got this set in part, but I'm going to feel onto the front balls of the feet, onto the heels, pausing in the center. Shifting right, shifting left, and this can be gentle. We're gonna post later, so you can just be very gentle here. Just kind of resetting. Okay, wood rises. Falls. And we want the whole body engaged all the time. Here I'm going to post onto the left side, really getting that knee, hip and ankle in alignment. And here this is just our warm up. So my knee's a little bit sore. So here I'm like, okay, on the right side, holding my hip, is it square? Okay, now I'm setting it at square. It feels a little difficult and challenging, so just have to notice that. And then I turn my torso. Good. We're going to come back to this other hip. Make sure it's hip, knee, and ankle, and shoulder are in alignment. Hip sinks, so I'm engaging. I should feel my whole pelvic bowl engaged. I want to feel that. So I do have to tilt forward a little bit, and then I feel the burn in the leg, and then it actually is, it's still got some chi in the other leg, but then I actually feel like I can relax more into it, because now it's engaged. And that gives me something to relax into. So we're relaxing into a constantly deeper engagement. And then of course I can feel that, and okay, this feels pretty good, right? It's a little challenging, but I went through the challenge and now I just feel the good circulation while being engaged. Okay, I'm shifting. How does that feel? Now shifting. Trying to get that same engagement on this side. Just taking my time. Shifting. Good. Okay, on to the left side. Shifting. Should feel a little bit more comfortable. It's almost like we've cleared out the channels, burned away the muck, and now we can hold the same posture, but it feels lighter. It's like supported by the chi. So good. Now we're gonna, so to the left, come up. Yeah. Gathering from the right. Why don't we do that another time? Here, left. Posting, turning, and I don't have to turn that much. Like right now I'm a little stiff. So I'm just turning a little bit. Just so much as I can keep the palm in the line with my center. Here, turning, just a little, keeping my hair. Hips, keeping my hairs square, keeping my hips square. Okay, go, shift, turn. And as I, there is, now as I'm engaging both hands, I get a bit more flexibility on my back. I can start to turn a little bit farther, right? So maybe this is, yeah, so here, sink, turn. Good. Here, sink, turn. Good. So maybe I should assign this. Probably this is a really good practice. And actually they use, this is a foundational, you can sometimes call it cloud hands. Okay. And now, my knees, feeling it in the knee over here, so I have to check my alignment. And sure enough, my hips are, we're getting a bit farther back and not square. And it means if I square the hips, then there's a little bit more chi in my body. Good. Good. You should be warmed up a little bit more. Gonna go right in the next part. So rising, getting that opposing energy in, sinking the heels, going forward. Down. Good. And we're going to come to the left. Gathering the water. It does feel a lot better now. Gather the fire. Water puts up fire, and they become earth in the center. I just gotta turn on the music, so stand right there. Okay. So we are. Good. We're going to shift onto the right foot. Now onto the left. My left hand's on top, holding the ball, stepping out into a bow stance, and I'm facing my right. Here. Here we go. We're in ward off. Hands, top hand chest height, lower hand solar plexus. Check the alignments. It's my middle finger and my center palm and my center line. So my middle finger and center palm lined up, and then are those lined up with my center line? Good. This is rounding outwards. We're kind of making ourselves round. Nothing can get in, where everything's bouncing off of us, and we can even do that in the legs. And this really is, it's like when you do this right, you should feel that feeling of protection. Like nothing can get in because you've created this cove in all of the tissues. So we're in this cove, right? It's ward off. The Chinese word is nice. It's called Peng. You can hear that sound. Peng, it has that rounded, and it has this buoyancy, right? Peng, we're really keeping that energy up. So liu can ward off, but the sound has a flowing quality. So warding off, we're flowing. Something comes at us, we're just flowing away. Oh, come in. Oh, I'm just gonna move you away. Come in. Move you away. Warding off. Rolling back. It's just a moving away. Good. And then our press. Here, we're pressing back out. This is a bit more focused. Again, at the center of this meaty part of the palm, which is hooking onto my right wrist crease. So left hand hooks into the right wrist crease. Just like a surfer riding the wave. The hands come apart. Here I'm sliding up, and then I'm sinking my palms the last moment as I sink the weight. So again, it's separated seal, coming back onto the back foot. My right foot, it can be flat, or I just tend to bring the toes off the floor. The heel stays rooted. It's up to you. And now you press. So again, there's ward off. Check those alignments. Roll back. Weight shifts back. And press. Separate. And push. So we'll do that 2 more times. So ward off. Weight forward. Palms are reaching out. It's the Peng energy. Everything's rounded. We're in that cove. Even my lower back. Everything's rounded. And my legs too. I'm standing on that horse, right? Good. Rolling. This really is somebody throws a punch, I grab it, I'm using their weight against them, just redirecting, pulling in, pulling back, press, okay, separate, and push. Press. Separate and seal. Here, we can really appreciate this slide because we're using the kind of like the momentum. You get more power when the wrists are the last thing to come down. The wrists drop with the weight. It's really pretty powerful. We're just kind of in the earth, now we're lifting up to heaven, and now we're dropping back down into the earth. Have that momentum. Again, okay, so maybe we do one more. I'm just going to call it out. No direction, holding the ball. Stepping out. Ward off. Roll back. Press. Separate and seal. Forward. Push. Okay. Now, I think I can get a little bit closer. Okay. Good. Good. I'm very happy. So here, my foot's going to turn in. This is my right foot turning in. My hands come to my left. My left foot comes into my right. I'm holding my right foot, my right hand's on top. I'm forming that crane speak. All the hands come together. I punch out almost. It's kind of like a punch out. And then I'm scooping. So it's almost, this can be a palm strike. It doesn't have to be. I'm scooping, coming up over the other arm. So my right arm is in the crane's beak, and my left arm is coming over the top of that arm. I'm going to step out into bow stance. I'm not going to shift the weight yet. Step out into bow stance, come out, and okay, single whip. This is the most complicated. So, I'm going to go back to push. Okay. We're going to step in. So here, we want to step, we want to get prepared for our bow stance, and we're going to be facing the left direction. I'm going to step in, 135 degrees. This is really going to take some time. And we need to protect our knees here. So here, now we're back on the heel, and have our hands out. We can bring this left foot in, hands in. Now, I'm forming a crane's beak. My right hand's on top, forming the crane's beak. Left hand comes over. I'm going to look. I'm going to step into my bow stance, separate, get to create this 90-degree angle, and then single whip. And then the last thing to fall is my foot. I'm shifting the weight, and then just like in the push, I'm settling through the palm. This is kind of it's really a karate chop, right? Palm striking right with this bone, really, this area, specifically with this bone, the head of the ulna. So, good. So let's try again. So we've just pushed. distracted. I'm like, this is really good. So, okay, we're gonna step in the left and make this, again, 135-degree angle. Be soft on your knees. Here, you really have to sink into, or you have to really sink into the left foot here, and really post here in order to get the right foot 135 degrees, right? You want it to be set up so that you don't have to move it anymore. And I'm going to end up in bow stance facing the left. So again, you can just, that basic, I know, all these micro steps, I'm like, there's a lot to learn here. So here, we just pushed, and we're going to shift onto the left foot, and we're going to pivot the right foot in at the 135-degree angle. I know you didn't do geometry, maybe it's, but just so that we're going to be able to step out on the right and end up in a bow stance. So I think we can just make this the last time. So here we press, shifting onto the left foot, posting on the left foot. I'm shifting my right foot in at 135 degrees, being very careful to protect that knee. Now I'm shifting all my weight onto the right foot. I'm bringing the left foot in. I've kind of gathered out to this way, but that was more subtle. Gathering to the left, gathering to the right. My right hand's forming the crane's beak. The left hand's can be a palm strike coming over the top. And then I'm going to step out of the bow stance. My left hand's going to come down. And then at the end, shift and set. Here, yeah. And then again, so just so you can see it up close, my single whip, I'm gathering. Gosh. Gathering. I'm coming over. I'm stepping into my bow stance. It should be like this now. And then I'm settling at the end. And you can see it here too. So there's a scooping, and it's a twisted motion, right? We really using the coiling and uncoiling as a force of momentum. And then at the end, so you're twisting almost, and then at the end you're uncoiling. So it's not only are you getting that downward momentum, but you're also getting that spiraling and unspiraling momentum. So it's extra powerful in that way. That's why they call it the single whip, right? It's like a whip. You coil it up and then smack. Very, very much whippy. It's very whippy. It doesn't just have that up-down momentum. It has the spiraling momentum. So you might have to come back to this. This is really rich, but my hope is that you can just you might have to come back to this, but my hope is it's comprehensive enough and we're repeating it enough time that it's going to stick good. So good. Okay, let's. Okay. So we've done our press. I know, maybe some days I should just do walking and other days just the form. It's enough there, right? So, okay, press. And then, okay, distracted. Sorry. to shift our weight onto the left. Turn the right foot in at 135 degrees. This takes some practice. Posting on the left. Now my right foot's in position. I'm fully on my right foot. Again, very protective of the knees. And then my left foot comes in. Again, push, shifting to and my hands are kind of following the weight. They're very loose now. You can make them fancier if you like, but they're just following where I shift my weight. So, shifting to the left, my hands go left. Now I'm getting into that 135 degree angle. Shifting to the right, my hands go right. Now my right hand's forming the crane's peak, my left hand's coming over the top, stepping out at an angle, stepping out at an angle, into the bow stance, and my hand's gonna coil up and follow, and then at the end I'm uncoiling, shifting the weight into single whip. Good. Really easy, right? The right explanation, it's easy. So, here we go. Press. Press. Shifting onto the left. Hands go left. Shifting onto the right. Hands go right. Right hand forms a crane's beak. Left hand comes on the top. Wait, yes, that's correct. And now this coiling, so there's that coiling, hands stay coiled, stepping into bow stance, and shifting, single whip. From here, my hands are at about a 90 degree angle. And good. And my hands are extending out. I feel like we just hit the hour mark. So I'm going to wrap up quick. Here. Good. So now my right foot is turning out towards the front. My left foot sweeps in, stepping out on the heel, coming to the center. Here, so again, single whip. Here, my right foot turns towards the front, and then my left foot turns towards the front, steps out, about shoulder width apart, for me a bit wider. And now the hands are still in single whip. Now they're settling down. And I'm picking up. Tiger in my fire posture now. And see, it all comes together, right? Returning to mountain. Come out as the hands reach their apex. We're going to step in again with that left foot. And closing the foot. I thought we were going to do the 4 directions today, but we're going to do just one more repetition, and you can, struggle with it till you get it. I think this is last, I'll say more when we close them. So here, settling back in, letting go of all your tension into here. Separate. form, stepping on my left, rising wood, falling metal, gather left. Noticing the difference between the beginning and did you stay warm? Good. Here, gathering fire. Okay. Mixing. Center. Coming the here, and then gather to the right, here, so my left foot turns in. Bow stance, ward off. Roll back. Press. Check the center line. Separate and seal. Okay, now we're gonna, again, remember that sequence, going right, this side, going left, going left, right, say, going to the right, and speak. Coiling, single. Tiger, and returning. Oh, I didn't mirror that. Left foot. Good. So if you have time, feel free to practice that a few more times. I will say probably you're gonna wanna, because that last bit of the video was so concise, so good, you probably will want to rewatch it unless you feel like you really got the things. But maybe practice with it another 2 times if you can. If you can't, I'm assuming yeah, practice another 2 times, and then yeah, and then just you have it as a reference. But hopefully that's enough to let things settle. So. If you have more time to practice the 4 directions, do that. Otherwise, please join me for this closing meditation. You can be lying down, sitting up, totally up to you. It is nice to give the body a break. And I'm just going to set this 5-minute timer, and we'll wrap up there. So, good. Okay. Slowly coming back. Good. All right. Well, good practice, good work. Love seeing you progress. It's really coming together. So, good. This is really where things come together in an awesome way. So I'm excited to be at this point. And yeah, onwards, and forwards, onwards and inwards, and then upwards. So good. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. Yeah, definitely this video is one you can rewatch. I encourage it. At least that form practice where we get into the nuts and bolts. Because I think if we can get that, then we're gonna be able to really enjoy just the, being able to practice it, and less of me leading, and we kind of letting each other lead. And there is a point where the form becomes yours, and you bring your own flourish to that. Yeah, I think that's a really great moment. So good. We will see you soon, and have a great week. Okay, bye.